What's going on, Eagles fans? It's your boy Sal G here with you with another edition of the Birds Fly By here on It's a Wrap Network. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe so we can get all this awesome Eagles and other great Philly sports goodness to your inbox, to your streams, wherever you stream from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff. We got you covered. Eagles, big win today against the Dallas Cowboys. Always enjoyable when the Eagles can stomp the Cowboys, and they did so today, clinching the NFC East. Your Philadelphia Eagles final score against the Cowboys 41-7. It was a whooping. Sheesh. You can see I got all these fun graphics here. I got myself the Fresh Prince Philly there. Got to subscribe. We got a lot of noise here. I like it though. I like it. It's got like some Nickelodeon slime vibes. I'm digging it. So, yeah, man, great win today for the Birds. They finish, well, they still got one game left in the season. So now they are 13-3. And next week, we'll see if they start anyone. I wonder. I'm curious because Saquon Barkley buried a lead here. Well, we got the NFC East, but the second achievement accomplishment to talk about today is Saquon Barkley going over 2,000 yards rushing in the season. Pretty great accomplishment. Only 6, 7 other guys have done it in the entire history of the NFL, going over 2,000 yards rushing. Saquon is now 101 yards away from breaking Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record. So the question is, will Nick start Saquon next week knowing he just needs 101 yards to break the record? And we know Saquon can get 100 yards in a quarter. He did it last week. He got 109 yards in the quarter. So they could just feed the hell out of him and just try and get that record out the way real quick. But what are you going to do? Just start Saquon with a bunch of backups? I don't. Do you risk it? They say no risk it, no biscuit. Are you going to risk injury to Saquon? He's had more, like 360 carries right now. A tremendous number, blows past his previous career high, which is in the two something range. So, do you just keep feeding the guy this ball? 400 carries before you get to the playoffs, where the recipe to beat teams. You're just going to keep feeding them Saquon, just punishing opposing teams with the run with Jalen Hurts. Hopefully Jalen Hurts comes back healthy. We had a nice performance today by Kenny Pickett. He played admirably. He looked like he was banged up. He got hit. Coming into the game, he had the rib injury, and you wonder if he was going to start, whether it was going to be Tanner McKee is a physical specimen, 6'6", 231 pounds. I mean, this guy, that's a football player right there. I mean, I like my quarterbacks to be tall and seeing over all them linemen. Well, a guy that's 6'6", you know, that's Tom Brady size. Kenny Pickett, though, is not 6'6", and he has small hands. That's what I hear. I have small hands, but I'm not an NFL player. But that's the knock on Kenny Pickett. He's got small hands. He played an admirable game today, but you wonder if the rib injury, he took some hard shots in this game, a couple of shots, couple late shots. Penalties were called. Sometimes penalties weren't called when he was hit. But two hard shots came out the game. Tanner McKee relieved Pickett, 6'6", Tanner McKee. He went 3 for 4 with 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's all he did. Just threw his first 2 touchdowns of his NFL career. The first, by the way, was caught by A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown just decided to launch it into the end zone. And, a fan caught it, and I guess he realized his mistake and was begging and pleading a fan to return the ball. in exchange for his jersey, a signed AJ Brown jersey. So it looks like the fan did return the ball. Tanner McKee got his first touchdown ball. Tanner McKee, other milestones: first NFL snap, first completion. Yeah, all that good stuff. So overall, between Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee, you got 3 touchdowns between the two of them. 13 of 19 passing. This is between the two guys, and 197 yards uh, throwing the ball. So pretty good. Not bad. It's not great. The touchdowns are great. I mean, 13 for 19. That's pretty good. I'll take it. I mean, just under 200 yards passing. There's been some games this year where Jalen Hurts has thrown under 200 yards, and we didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do much to beat the Cowboys this week. The Cowboys obviously are not on the same level as the Eagles, and it puts a smile on my face. It's going to take a while to knock this smile off. Saquon Barkley had a day today. 31 rushing attempts, 167 yards. It's over 5 yards a carry. And they pulled him in the fourth quarter after he broke 2,000-yard mark. Great accomplishment. Sirianni called the timeout. Barkley got to get his flowers, went on the field again. Teammates congratulating him, the fans cheering for him. I'm sure there was a graphic that they put up on the screen. So that was cool to see. And then you had Devontae Smith, 6 receptions, 120 yards with 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he made up for that drop last week. He made up for it. He caught everything pretty much. 6 of 7. He was targeted 7 times. Probably the one he didn't catch, I don't think he had his hands on it. He didn't drop anything today. 6 for 122 touchdowns. AJ Brown, 3 for 36 with a touchdown. Grant Calcaterra, he made up for his day. He had 1 catch for 34 yards, but boy, was it a big catch. One-handed catch, highlight reel, catch of the week. If you didn't see it, check it out. It was an awesome play. We got some comments here. Let's check them out, and we'll get into the rest of this game. Ooh, my man Steve. What's up, brother? He said, Nooms in the house. Brick City, baby. That's right. Brick City, also known as Newark, New Jersey. But we're going to call Brick City, Philadelphia. And on this podcast, we're getting bricked up for the Eagles right now. Yes, sir. Steve saying, would love if Detroit, Minnesota went 0-1 to finish the season. And if that were to happen, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles would get the #1 overall seed, right? If that happens, if all of this comes to pass. So Minnesota has to lose to the Niners tonight. That's certainly possible. That can happen. Or is it Detroit? Detroit has to lose to San Francisco. In San Francisco, we know San Francisco's out of the playoffs. They're playing spoilers. Hey, let's go Green Bay and San Francisco. That's right. Green Bay has to beat Minnesota today. They win, we got a shot at the #1 seed. That's right, my buddy Chris Fury in the house. Yeah, Nooms. McKee does have a nice arm. I mean, he didn't look like a guy that was coming in for his first NFL game. I mean, mop-up duty or the third string, not expected to play. Don't know how many reps you get with the starters, but I did read something that said McKee, when staying late at practice, he does get some time with the first line receiver. So he'll get time with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Calcaterra, um, and Dotson, who I didn't even see on the field again today. I didn't hear his name called once. Again, the receiver, did he not? No, he did not get a target. Jenkins got a target. I don't know who that is. Who is Jenkins? E. Jenkins. Good old EJ Jenkins. I have no clue who he was. I missed it. That must have been late in the game when they pulled all the starters. E. Jenkins. All right. Gainwell got a pass. Barkley, Calcaterra, Brown, Devontae Smith. No Dotson. But yeah, McKee has a nice arm, and 6'6", 231. It's a nice size quarterback, man. I think that's your backup next year. I don't really see the incentive. I don't know if Pickett's under contract next year or what the deal is, but I'd certainly like to see McKee in the backup role. He can't go anywhere. And that's right, Chris. Kenny Pickett, small hands, smells like cabbage. I believe that's Austin Powers talking about carny folk, if I got that right. Steve Roth in the house. What's going on, Steve? NFC East champs. That's right, baby. And what better way to do it against the Cowboys at home and rocking the Kelly Green uniforms? Philly, I keep saying the Phillies, but you guys get it. Philadelphia Eagles, undefeated when they rock those Kelly Green jerseys. So keep wearing them. My favorite color, my favorite jersey of the Eagles all time. I don't like the newer style, the midnight green. I like Kelly Green. Go back to that. Go back to it. Adam, what's up, brother? Hell of a game by everyone. How about them Cowgirls? Yeehaw! How about them Cowgirls? That's right. How about them? Tuck your tails and get out of Philly. Adam saying, you think they keep Hurts out to the playoffs? Well, I wonder if, since Hurts was out this week, maybe Hurts plays a half. Maybe the starters play a half, try and get Saquon that 100 yards in that half. And then they all come out. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, I'm curious because there's a lot to talk about there. Does Barkley want to go against his former team? He has a lot of friends on that team. Does he want to show them up? Does he want to get the record? Does he really care? I mean, I know he's talked about it and said he would like to get it, but I'm sure he'd like to stay healthy, one, first, and two, win as a team and go into the playoffs. You will make the playoffs here. So if you could get some rest, Barkley surely needs it, as many carries as he's had this year. I'm torn because as my fan of me wants him to get the record, but I also understand the business side of things. And you're trying to win a Super Bowl. And I've said multiple times to Saquon, I'm fine with running him into the ground, but that means into the playoffs. I don't want to run him into the ground now and then come week one, first playoff game, he blows a tire, and that's the end of Barkley, and our offense significantly changes, or it's not the same without Barkley there. I mean, we could say what you want about Kenneth Gainwell or Tyrion Davis Price, who was just relieving Barkley and Gainwell, and you could say, Will Shipley, but they're not Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is something else. I mean, the way the man moves, the way he jukes, right? The way he just moves around. I mean, what he does, the other guys can't do that. I mean, he's just unbelievable to watch. He is a highlight reel. He really is. Awesome guy. I want him to get the record, but at what cost? If you get the record, here's a scenario. If Barkley goes for the record and gets hurt next week, Philadelphia is going to go nuts for Sirianni, and they're going to want his head on a silver platter, on a Kelly Green platter. They're going to want his head delivered because they're going to say, "How could you do that? How could you go? How could you go for this stupid record? It doesn't mean anything. All that matters is championships." And I agree with that, but this is something that's special. I mean, when the hell did Dickerson do that? 83? I don't know when that was. He was with the Rams, and I know he finished his career with the Colts, and that was in the mid 80s, late 80s. So I don't know when Dickerson did that. Early to mid 80s, I guess. Was it 85? We'll see. But I'm torn. I'll be talking more about it tomorrow on my show, The Wraparound, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on It's a Wrap Sports Network. Make sure you check it out. Chris saying, let's hope the number one seed is still up for grabs, and then we can play starters without worrying about it. There you go. And you know what? That's probably the best case scenario. If that happens, and the number one seed's up for grabs, now you could go for the record, but you're really trying to get the win for the number one seed, and the record happens to be the second tiered thing you're going for in the game. That's what we're going for. All right. So that's the scenario. Let's go for the number one seed. Let's hope it all works out. Because yeah, that's a tough decision next week. Saquon's going to want to do it. Sirianni's going to have to do it. Lurie's going to have to be okay with it. and that's it. We'll see. And Adam, check him the facts. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. 1984, Dickerson broke the record with the Rams. There you go. I was just a little baby at that time, so I did not see that happen. And if I did, I don't remember it. All right, well, let's get into this game. So no hurts, no problems. Eagles came into the game as 7.5 point favorites, even though they were down their starting quarterback. I guess Vegas just knows, because this ended up being a blowout in every sense of the word. 41-7 final score. Kelly Green Day, Eagles at home, lock up the NFC East. Next step now is to see if we get some breaks. We need some help to be eligible to get that first seed. But as of right now, we got the second seed, and there's no bye with that. But there's worse things out there. The second seed plays the seventh seed, right? Or the whatever the last seed is, seventh, sixth, seventh. Cooper Rush came into the game. I mean, he's playing well. He's playing well for the Cowboys. They were winning games. His overall career as a starter, when he has to fill in for Dak Prescott, is 9-4. Now 9-5. But coming into the game, he was 9-4, and he had some good numbers this year. And he was playing well, and the Cowboys were playing well. I guess again, it didn't matter. Over under 37.5, crushed it 48. And we talked about what Barkley was able to do in this game and all season, and the milestone that just right within reach there. But Dallas, 28th in NFL rush defense, and it showed. I mean, the Eagles were able to run the ball at will and do very well. Over 5 yards a carry. It's crushing. They let up 135.9 yards per contest, the Cowboys. So they're really bad at the run, and Barkley feasted today, 167 on the ground. Philly, oh God, I'm going to keep saying Phillies all post game here, guys. Eagles team record rushing in the season. It's the team record was already established before coming into the game. It was 2,818 yards, and you can tack on another 179 yards to that. All time. So they are running the football at a frenetic pace this year. It's great to see. I love it, man. I love running the football. You know, it's coming into this year, it seemed like running backs are really marginalized in the NFL. You know, they're not paid as much anymore. But now you got Derrick Henry, who's 30 years old, and he has himself about 1,800 yards rushing right now. And then you have Saquon Barkley, who's younger, but not that much younger. He's 27, right? 2,000 yards. I mean, it just seems it's different. And I wonder if there's a shift now in the NFL and the mindset of perhaps running more. I mean, it was just always pass, 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 pass. Now they're running again. You know, you wonder, but it just seems like teams don't want to pay running backs. And I understand it's probably the most brittle position there is in the NFL. Running backs do not last that long. NFL stands for not for long. And a running back's shelf life is like 3 years. So to be able to do more than that, you know, give credit to these guys like Barkley and Henry. And there's other running backs out there that are having great years. Shoot, even Rico Dowdle for a Cowboys team who was 7-9 right now. They have a rusher who's over 1,000 yards. And Barkley says, "I see your 1,000, and I raise you another 1,000." But it's crazy, man. But Barkley didn't have any rushing touchdowns in this game, so it doesn't look like he is going to tie Shady McCoy. Well, Shady McCoy, I wonder now if that stat was career or for the season. I don't know that it's for the season. Trying to pull up Barkley's page here real quick, see if I could see that. It might be for the season. It might be. McCoy might have had 17 touchdowns one season. So it doesn't look like Barkley's going to break that record. But he now has the season mark of all-purpose yards. He needed 33 yards from scrimmage to break McCoy. Well, he did that by a lot today. McCoy had 2,146 set in 2013. And now, I can't do the math at the moment, but we know it's more because I just told you it was 33, and he had 167 yards rushing, just rushing. And what did he catch? What did he do with through the air? 2 catches for 2 yards. All right, so not much there. It was all the rushing. So it's pretty awesome. The Phillies team record for rushing touchdowns is 32. And did they not get any rushing touchdowns? They got one. So they need 3 more to tie their mark of 32 rushing touchdowns. That was set just 2 years ago, 2022. And more about this game here on the Cowboys side. Micah Parsons, who was a PSU hero, Penn State, just a Cowboys villain now. Just talking how he wants to beat the Eagles and spoil the Eagles. And it don't matter if they don't have anything to play for. They want to stop the Eagles from, well, making the playoffs. That didn't happen because we beat them in the first matchup. And now just trying to just beat us, just to embarrass us, I guess. And they didn't do that. They got embarrassed. But Micah Parsons is crazy, man. He missed 4 games this year, 9.5 sacks. So he's a great player, man. I would love to have this guy on this team. He's a half sack away for having at least 10 sacks or more in his first 4 years playing in the NFL. I mean, he's a great player. I want this guy. Maybe we'll get this Penn State player on the Eagles one day. I'm sure he would love to play with the Eagles. He ain't going to say it now. He might say it tomorrow, though. Kenny Pickett, 15-10 career as the starter right now. It's not bad. Not bad. Not great. But he got the win, and he played. I bet he was banged up. He had a flak jacket on. You saw it to protect his ribs. And I said he got knocked out the game, took some massive shots. Tanner McKee came in, played his butt off. But let's go look at the first quarter here for a sec. Going on Dallas's first drive of the game. C.J. Gardner-Johnson with the pick 6. Did we miss him last week? Because I swear we would have won the game if he didn't get thrown out. Believe it or not, that pick 6 was the first defensive touchdown for Philadelphia this year. And put them up 7-0. And then Dallas, they had their second drive right after that. And I'm just looking at Darius Slay, and I don't know if he's a free agent. I thought he was. I think he is. But I wonder if we should move on from him. You got Cooper DeJean. Maybe the Eagles. Oh, they got one more year of Slay, I think. They could cut him, but they have one more year of him, and he's under contract. So they'll probably just ride it out. Cooper DeJean's been playing well, but they probably like him better in that slot corner position that he's been playing. And he's been doing really well at that. Maybe, of course, with a whole offseason of practicing, I'm sure Cooper DeJean could be fine on the ends there. But as of right now, DeJean plays the slot corner, does a great job. And you got Slay, who's not the same Slay. You just see it. He had a penalty in that drive, and Nolan Smith had a penalty, and that led to the Cowboys tying it right back up with a Jalen Tolbert touchdown, tied the game 7 apiece. Corner end zone catch. Nice throw by Rush. It really is his best part of the game was that. That was the only touchdown that the Cowboys scored. And notes that I had down after the first quarter, I was like, Dallas is able to move the ball. They were able to run it, and they were able to throw. But the Eagles put the clamps on that real quick. And then just a stat here. When Jalen Hurts plays, the Eagles are 46-20. And when all other quarterbacks play, so after today's win, it's 5-11-1. So Jalen Hurts is a winner. Say what you will about him, but he is our best chance to win. And we got to play him, and we need him healthy. And if that means him sitting out next week, he sits out if he has to. But he did sit out this week. I think he'll be back. I think he will be. One thing I noticed about this Cowboys game is a lot of extracurricular pushing and shoving between the two teams. The Cowboys and the Eagles were going at it. Late in the game, Sidney Brown gets thrown out of the game for the Eagles. They're going into the tunnel after a punt, and 2 Cowboys got thrown out of the game. That was crazy. That's nuts. But, man, the crowd was fired up. The fans were fired up there. Everybody was going nuts. You saw Mike Trout there. He was fired up. And it was great to see. But I noticed one thing with the refs. They got away with there was multiple penalties that Dallas had that were not called. There was face mask penalties. There was illegal contact penalties. Oh, illegal contact penalties, face mask penalties. I'm saying all because my nose is itching like crazy. I'm going to go off camera because it's kind of weird. I had to scratch, not picking, just scratching. But I got allergies so bad, man. And a day like today with the humidity, the rain and stuff, it's just nasty for me. The one Philadelphia's third drive, they get another touchdown. Grant Calcaterra kept that drive alive with that 34-yard circus catch. Check it out, one-handed play, catch of the week. You're going to see it on the highlight reels on ESPN, and after the game on the post-game show, they're going to show that catch. DeVonta Smith with a touchdown. Pickett with the beautiful pass, end zone quarter. It was 6:38 in the first. Gives it a 14-7 Eagles lead, and the Eagles are now able to score in the first quarter, which, goddamn, if they couldn't. Oh, that was the second quarter. My bad. But they did score a touchdown earlier in the first, but they got another one in the second. They scored 17 points in the second quarter. The Eagles did. And we know the Cowboys didn't score any more points. A 0 in the second, a 0 in the third, a 0 in the fourth. Love to see it. Love to see it. Eagles had some turnovers in this game. There was at least 4. I want to say there was 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers by Dallas today. There was 5 by Washington last week. 9 turnovers for the Eagles in 2 games. That's pretty nasty, guys. Number 1 defense in football, and this is one of the reasons here, these turnovers. When you get turnovers, forget about last week's game. You throw that one away. But if you normally get 5 turnovers, 4 turnovers in a game, you're winning that game. You should win it, and you should win it handily, easily. It shouldn't be close. And let's see, when the Eagles scored again, Philly 4th drive. I was going to say Ezekiel Elliott kicked the field goal, but it wasn't Ezekiel Elliott. It was another Elliott. It was Jake Elliott with a 31-yard field goal. Makes it a 17-7 Eagles lead. Mekhi Becton limped off the field in that drive, but he ended up coming back into the game, so that was good to see. Dallas had some more penalties called on him, couple offsides penalties. Oh, no, there was multiple offsides penalties, but only one was called. Again, another miscue by the refs there on that play. And then on Dallas's next drive, CJ GJ with his second interception in the day. Welcome back. Where you been? Get your practice on. All right. So that was great for them to see CJ do that. Been awesome. Big part of this defense this year. And in Philadelphia, on their 5th drive, a YOLO ball to DeVonta, 49-yard catch. Just missed the touchdown. Just missed it. DeVonta's knee hit the ground after the catch, and it was ruled that he hit the ground by the officials. Pickett knee hit the dirt while he was going for a tush push. He couldn't get a touchdown there. Second attempt was good. Tush push touchdown. Eagles up 24-7. And looking at the first half stats here, there was 3 turnovers by Dallas in the first half. Cooper Rush was 11-19 for 102 yards. He had 1 carry for 2 yards. Kenny Pickett, 9 for 14 for 133 and a touchdown. 3 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown. That's a nice half there for Pickett. It was good to see. He needed that. Rico Dowdle, running back for the Cowboys, who went 12 carries, 43 yards, 1 catch for 4 yards. And Saquon Barkley, he didn't pick it up till the second half. 13 carries for 40 yards. That's just over 3 yards a carry, and 2 receptions for 2 yards. So they were locking down Barkley, and the Cowboys were able to do that to Barkley in the first matchup between the 2 teams. But as we see here, and as I talked about earlier, they were not able to contain Barkley for long. Brandon Cooks was the leading receiver for the Cowboys. He had 4 catches for 52 yards at the half. And DeVonta Smith, redemption time for him. 3 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown for DeVonta. I think we can forgive him now, right? He's all good. All good for DeVonta. Third quarter, this is where Pickett was getting drilled, getting hit in the ribs. 2 big hits, stayed down for a bit on one. Then another play, got hit again, had to come out. He was on the sidelines looking hurt. He was on his knees. Tanner McKee takes his first career NFL snap. We get a field goal by Jake Elliott, makes it a 27-7 lead. So Elliott, we need you to play well. Playoffs, we're going to need those field goals, baby. So, and bunch of drives here by Dallas are punt, punt, punt. So I'm not going to go talk about a punt drive. Philadelphia, 7th drive. Barkley goes over 100, and Pickett was officially, well, he was never officially out of the game. He was in street clothes and went back to dress as an emergency quarterback. They were not planning to put him back in the game, but if something happened to McKee, according to Pam Oliver on the sidelines there, he would have been the emergency quarterback to come back in the game. And then McKee throws a touchdown pass to AJ. Well, it wasn't a touchdown. He made the catch, but was ruled out of bounds. Again, that was another highlight catch, one-handed catch, a la Odell Beckham. Check that one out. But A.J. Brown did get a touchdown moments later, 20-yard pass from McKee. Tanner McKee's first career touchdown. And what's A.J. Brown do? He throws it into the stands. And then he had to ask the fan for the ball back. And he had to bribe him with some merchandise and a hot signature there. So he pleaded with the fan. Fan throws the ball back. McKee gets the ball. So that's nice. GJ, Gardner Johnson was on the ground hurt, but I'm assuming everything was okay. At that point, we're in the fourth quarter, pulling starters out. They should have probably been pulling them out at that point before Gardner Johnson got hurt. So I haven't heard anything yet about him. Hopefully he's okay, but they took a TV timeout. They didn't mention anything else about Gardner Johnson. I did not notice him on the field. Could have came back, though, but probably not. At that point, they were pulling guys. And then there was a Nolan Smith knocking the ball out, and Cooper DeJean recovered. That's the fourth turnover, and the last one by the Cowboys for the game. Not looking good there, Cowboys. Yeehaw! And it was 9 takeaways, talking about 9 takeaways the last 2 games for the Eagles. That is amazing. And that Barkley is so good. 2,000 yards rushing. The way he jukes, bounces, and cuts. I mean, those type of plays that he makes. Kenny Gainwell's solid, but I don't see him doing stuff like that. And Devontae Smith got his second touchdown of the game, a 25-yard catch. Makes it a 41-7 Eagles lead. Tanner McKee's second touchdown of the game. And then the next drive for Dallas, Brandon Aubrey had a chance for a 61-yard field goal, but that went off the post, and that was very loud. And then you had Philadelphia punt, and then that led to the Sidney Brown, Trey Pride, and Jalen Burks ejections from the game for unsportsmanlike conduct. And that pretty much wrapped the game up. There was not really any more action after that. How we feeling, Eagles fans? Feeling good? Confident? I'm feeling good about this team. I think we can beat anybody in the NFC. AFC teams, that's a higher hill to climb. But the NFC, nobody scares me in the NFC. And I don't know that anybody scares me in the AFC. I don't want to say we're the best team in football because I'm not sure about that. Adam saying Packers, Vikings starting. Yep, that started 20 minutes ago, right? And Lions, 49ers, Monday Night Football. There we go. I'll be watching that game. I'll be watching the Packers game and hope for 49ers and Packers win. Or excuse me. Yeah, Packers wins. That's right. If Barkley and Henry both break the record in the same year, it's possible. It is possible, isn't it? I bet you Henry probably wants to go for 2,000 himself. And Adam's saying 2001 Shady McCoy scored. Chris asking the question, is Barkley the best Eagles running back all time? This is one season. If he breaks Dickerson's record, I say he is. If he doesn't, he's not. Because McCoy, I would say, is the best. How many seasons until he could be crowned number one? Well, we have him for 2 more after this. Does not mean he's going to play 2 more seasons. There's a chance he retires, or I'm not going to say anything else. There's a chance he retires. Maybe he wins the lottery and goes to Bermuda and just decides to live there. But I mean, shoot, if he has a 15-yard season next year, I mean, I don't know. That's 3,500 yards. I mean, 3,600 if he breaks Dickerson's record. How many yards does Shady Mc have? There we go. Adam setting the record straight here about Shady McCoy's touchdown. Scored 17 in 2020. Okay, there you go. In 2011, and then he scored. 2011, not 2020. That was only a couple years ago. 2011. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Adam. I know, Chris. I just mentioned that AJ's catch that was just out of bounds. That and Calcaterra's catch, highlight reel catches. Calcaterra, to me, that was better catch because he was kind of going, his body and hand were just going the opposite direction. His body was one way, his hand was the other, and that's the hand he made the catch with, and that was pretty crazy. So yeah, AJ's catch, Calcaterra's were awesome. AJ's didn't count though, but yeah, I count it in my heart. All right, friends. I think that's about it. We're going to wrap this up here. Let me just take care of some business here. Any excuses mentioned on the show, of course, are brought to you by Big Al's Excuse Emporium, taking place since 2024 here on It's a Wrap Network. We got Big Mike Lauro joining us. He's an official member of It's a Wrap Sports. He's going to be doing sports stuff for us full time come February. He'll be doing Flyers. When Philly season starts, he'll be doing Phillies. He'll be doing his own show. I know he is. We're going to get him his show. Maddie, give Mike a show. Follow Mike at Mike Lauro Sports. And you got me, Big Sal G, the wraparound on It's a Wrap Sports every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check that out. And Matty B's got himself a show, too. He's on a lot more than I am. Busy man, that Matty B. Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, The Final Word with Matty B. And Matty B also has a show called Birds Blast, where they talk all Eagles stuff. That's with Kyle Quinn. Check that out every week. The Final Word with Matty B. I like this graphic a lot. Savage. That's right. He is. Don't mess with Matty B, man. Well, I got a new logo too, bro. Christmas spirit. Look at this. Huh? That's nice, man. That's a handsome guy up there. Look at that. Look at that beard. I wish I had that beard on my head. I lost all the hair up there. That's what kids do to you. What can I say? Just kidding. All right, Clear the Ice. Here's our lineup for a Clear the Ice Flyers postgame show. Make sure you would tune into these. Tuesday, be Matty B against the San Jose Sharks. And I'll have the Vegas Knights on Thursday. And then Sunday, we got the Maple Leafs. And Matty will be on the bump there. Let's see what we got. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. It says, great show, Sal. Go Birds. Go Birds. Let's do it. Do it again. Let's go for that number 1 seed. It's not over yet. And then at that point, we got to worry about the record. So we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, before you bounce, make sure, give me a like. Give the channel a like. Share and subscribe so all your friends get all this hotness coming your way to your streams, to your inboxes. However you do it, wherever you do it, we're everywhere. Check us out. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you on the next one. Check out the wraparound tomorrow with me, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on It's a Wrap Network. Everyone have a great night. Take care, everyone. Peace.
I've been coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Drop the top when I'm in it. Everybody know the drop when I'm in it. Yeah, I'm so. Everybody know I'm hot. You know when the click through. This is about to be a show, be fun.